L'shana tova. When a man who has taught his son dies, he really is not dead. For he leaves behind one like himself. In his lifetime, when he sees his son, he rejoices, and even in death he does not grieve. I shared these words from Ben Sira with my family when we attended the funeral of Sharon's paternal grandmother, Lil Bromberg, or as we refer to her, Grandma Lil. See, Grandma Lil died at the age of 105, and needless to say, she lived a very long and wonderful life. Except for the last few years, it was a great life. She was loved and honored by her sons, her 7 grandchildren and assorted spouses, and currently 14 great-grandchildren. And since she was one of 6 children, there are countless cousins, nephews, nieces, and the like. And all of them from near and far made the effort to attend the funeral because they wanted to honor and remember her. Now you have to know one thing about Sharon's family. The custom is that we invite 3rd and 4th cousins to attend weddings and b'nai mitzvah. And we all try to attend. So this was not so much a family reunion of people who had not seen each other in a long time, because we had just seen each other just months before at some family life cycle event. This was a gathering in honor and in memory of her. Just as we had gathered to celebrate her 90th birthday and her 100th birthday, so we gathered on that sad day of her funeral to joyfully celebrate her life, because we loved her and she loved us. At the funeral, people shared many stories and many Grandma Lil moments. And I would say that until she turned 100 and a bit more, she had a quick wit and she was funny, even when she was trying to be serious. Now, she complained that she couldn't see or she couldn't hear, but she knew exactly what my children had left on the floor when they were younger. Oh, and by the way, she had an opinion about everything, and she never failed at expressing them to whoever would listen. When she was about 85, her sons made the decision that she should move from her apartment in Brooklyn to the Ring House in Rockville, Maryland, near her youngest son, Jonathan. And she walks into this assisted living care building, carrying her cane, and comments on what are all these old people doing here. To know what she meant to her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren is to see the pictures they put up on Facebook. I was lucky. I had an honored spot. I began life as that fella, and then I became that fella, Aaron. And thankfully, I feel like I became one of her grandsons. And we miss her so very much. But all of us learned from her, and all of us rejoice in the fact that she was with us for so long. And we do miss her. But we are so much better for having known her. And so we remember her by telling Grandma Lil stories, and by lighting a yortzeit candle in her memory on her first yortzeit, which is coming up just very soon. You see, the origins of the yortzeit candle are found in the German Jewish community, and the name is literally anniversary candle, or in Hebrew, a ner neshama, a soul candle. The origins of our remembering our loved ones are found in the Talmud. At first, we remembered those who were most important to our community, like Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, our teacher, who passed away on the 7th of Adar. And then it evolved into not differentiating between Moshe and our parents. And finally, remembering all of our relatives, all of our direct relatives. And in an older time, someone might fast on the yortzeit of a loved one, and people would give tzedakah, which is a custom that continues today. And the lighting of the candle persists. We often talk about the light of a person's soul. In Proverbs chapter 20, verse 27, we read, Ner Adonai nishmat Adam. The light of God is man's soul. It's inscribed on our Ner Tamid, on our eternal light. The Yortzeit candle is reminding us that the light of our loved ones that we remember today and every day are found in our souls. In a sense, we add their essence to our souls, and they remain a force in our lives. And if we were to take a look at the gematria of Dalok Ner, the lighting of a candle, and Hashchina, the divine presence, they equal one another. So in a sense, when we light the Yortzeit candle, we are bringing God's divine presence into our lives. The essence of our loved ones' lives influence us and the actions that we take in life. You know, I can't eat pea soup without thinking about Grandma Lil. And the same is true for stuffed cabbage. And I am sure that is the same for many of you as you think about your loved ones. There are days that I find myself quoting the important people in my life and know that I'm doing so because they've taught me or showed me in life what was important. And that influence is not reserved by just our family. The influence is found amongst the members of our community. Over this past year, we have lost some pretty amazing people in our community. And in sharing their names with you today, some you will know, and others will know others. But collectively, they have had an influence on our lives in some very special ways. Since last Yom Kippur, we remember the passing of our beloved friends Ken Shalal, a nice man, Louis Cohn and Natalie Cohn, Philip Korn, Gil Katz, who once sang in our High Holiday Choir, Howard Lewinter, who davened almost every Thursday night, Shirley Rosenfeld, Sean Sless, who died much too young, Jonathan Stranger, Mitzi Stranger, incredible people, and William Spiegelman. And just this week, Edith Sherman. These are just our members. And in their own way, they influenced our community and make it the special place it is. Now I know I may have missed someone, or if you're thinking about your family, and since we are such a small community, we have witnessed the passing of others who have made a great impact upon us. Each of them represents to us memories and the power of that flame. Sometimes flames burn bright and strongly, and at other times they flicker and they move with the passage of air, like memories do with time. And so we help those flames burn strong and bright through sharing the memories and being connected to them and to us. And when those flames burn brightly, we rejoice in our fortune for having known that person and knowing that, like the Shekhinah, like the divine presence of God, our loved ones continue to dwell with us throughout all of our lives and influence us for the better. Over the holidays, I have returned again and again to the themes of tefillah, tzedakah, and teshuvah as they transform the harshness of our destiny. And I would add to that today, zichronot, remembrances, the memories of our loved ones who help us to transform our destinies. You know, this week I attended the Walnut Street Theater production of Into the Heights. Now, I saw the same play at Mainland Regional High School last spring. And you have to know something. Mainland puts on a great production. And some of our members, some of our teenagers were in that, and they were simply wonderful. So I was now seeing this play twice in this year, and I was reminded at the end of the play of the grandmother who wants nothing more than good things for her family. She wins the lottery and knows that $96,000 will change the lives of her loved ones. But the characters realize that while money will change their lives, a better place to live, a new place to go, it is the influence of Abula Claudia, that teaches them to live the more important parts of their lives to the fullest extent. And as I think about that ending, I think that Grandma Lil, along with my other grandparents and my mother and all of my loved ones who I remember today during Yizkor, have taught me to live life to the fullest, because their ner nishama, their soul light, lives on in me and in my children. So I would like to invite you now to take a moment before we begin Yizkor to imagine for yourself a ner, a flame. And in the hottest part of that flame, at its center, I want you to envision your loved one or loved ones. I invite you to see their faces and their memories as clearly as you possibly can. What does it mean to walk with them or to talk with them? What would you ask them? What would you sing with them? Or what would you discuss with them? What are the smells and the stories that bring them most to mind? And once there, how do they light up your life? Now remember that the flame you are envisioning is not an ordinary flame, because the tears you may shed will not put the flame of memory out, but will actually strengthen it. And as it grows brighter and stronger and warmer, what do you remember? And once you remember, what do you do with that memory? My friend and colleague, Rabbi Nina Mizrahi from Chicago, wrote the following poem, Instructions for Remembering. Remember. Remember the blessings of those who no longer walk the earth. Remember each name, each life story. Remember on behalf of those whose memory fails. Remember with love the sweet and the bittersweet. Remember with forgiveness and hurt and understanding. Remember with insight so you might experience deeper meaning. Remember through the pain until you can touch the joy and find comfort. Remember through dreams left unfulfilled and choose one to fulfill. Remember through your heart. Remember through your actions. Remember through living with kindness, generosity, and forgiveness. Remember through your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. Remember by planting memories and helping them take root in the living. Remember by opening your heart even if you thought it was closed forever. Remember to live your own life as a blessing. Remember to do all this. Remember, and you will be remembered. Remember. May the memories of our loved ones always burn brightly in our hearts and in our souls. And we say together,